What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to an exciting video where I'm going to show you guys how I beat every Lu Bu on every stage for Dynasty Warriors Origins, and I'm going to rank them from the easiest all the way up to the hardest Lu Bu to fight. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I don't got much else to say. Let's go ahead and jump into it. If you enjoy it, definitely appreciate you guys dropping a like and a sub. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and talk about beating Lu Bu on every stage and which one was the toughest. Alright, starting at the bottom for my list. I think we have 8 stages in total to go through, including the demo. The demo is going to be on this list as well. But starting at the bottom for me, we've got the Battle of Sha Pi. And we got the pre-fight before we do the, the good stuff, you know what I mean? So we're talking about the actual map itself when he's roaming around on the kind of western side and he's like hunting your people and posing it there at the south. This is going to start at the bottom for me. I gave it a solid 5 out of 10 because if you do end up fighting him, you only have to get him down to half health before he runs away. And once you do that, he comes back unlimitedly. He's kind of like Hulao and Hulao from Dynasty Warriors 5, taking a bit from his page.
I challenge you.
So very easy, 5 out of 10. At the bottom for me is the pre-Sha Pi battle. Next up, coming in at number 7, and it was the last thing I played. I was making sure I got every single stage that I could. We've got the battle of Shui Gate from the demo, because this isn't actually in the game. Lu Bu doesn't pop out as Shui. He's not part of the full game. That's just a demo exclusive thing. And the reason that it's above for me versus like the full version of Lu Bu, I guess, is because the nerfing that they give to your characters. Your weapons are only maxed out at a certain amount. You got access to no good battle arts. I had to use the Podao because I was like, this is the only one that has decent battle arts. Everything else is like, eh. And because the demo limits you to only playing on hero difficulty, it was actually quite easy. But because of the nerfing, it kind of evened it out a little bit. I ended up dying once against him. I mean, no matter what you play, he's got this intimidating presence about him, and that's what got to me, and that's what, I ended up pooping the bed on the first time. But the second time was much easier as I got the nerves out, and, I gave it a solid 6.5 out of 10 for the demo, so I can see why y'all were struggling with it. Moving on to the next one, which is kind of tragic to see down here, but it, it kind of makes up for it, because there's a lot of Lu Bu battles in this game. Coming in number, I think, 5 or the third lowest is going to be the Battle of Hulao Gate. It's sad to say because that's where the iconic Lu Bu came from, but in this game he seemed to be relatively easier. I only gave him a 7 out of 10. It was very easy. I had allies with me. He was still tough to beat, don't get me wrong, very tough. He wasn't using all of his abilities that he has in the game, and he just seemed a little easier. I still struggled with him. I didn't die or anything, but I still struggled with him. And if you guys have seen the Ultimate Warrior Challenge guide, you guys have probably already seen me go through this, but yeah, I think Hulao Gate was a solid challenge. It wasn't too challenging, that's why I gave it a 7 out of 10, but I got allies, I got help, and it's much easier than some of the other stages in this game. Next up on the list, I think this is number 4, 5. Coming up right at the halfway point, we've got the second battle of Puyang. So this is the battle where you're trying to keep him in the castle, okay? So I think the challenge is to defeat him while he's in the castle. You have to beat him, he is the commander, but you have to keep him from going outside the castle, which means your help is limited to, I think, your companion. It's just you and your companion going into the fray alone, because when Xun Yu takes his camp, he don't move, he stands there, he don't do nothing. So second battle of Puyang was pretty tough for me. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. I died a lot trying to keep this guy inside the damn castle. Failed multiple times because he kept escaping, and it was extremely tough to beat him in close quarters, because some of the things that he does in close quarters, like he does normally, is harder to read, like the shoulder charge. Some of the faster battle arts that he uses, it was just hard to read, and he ended up just clipping me a couple times. It was not fun to deal with. But the good thing about this battle, or the thing that made it easier, is that for this one you only have to get him to 25% health before he retreats, which makes it an easier battle. If you had to get him all the way down, I don't think it would have made it that much more difficult, but because of that, that's why I only gave it an 8.5. Still tough, but at least a little easier in terms of bringing his health down. Just above the second battle of Puyang, we have the Dead by Daylight knockoff version of Lu Bu. The escape after you try to assassinate Dong Zhuo, that stage where he's, fee-fi-foing towards you. I gave this battle an 8.8. It's very similar to the last one. You have to get him down to 25% health in order to beat him, and he doesn't have as many abilities, but he's still very, very tough to beat. Again, it's a 1v1. You kind of have help a little bit, not really. Cao Cao's over doing his thing, and because it's on Ultimate Warrior difficulty, keeping Cao Cao alive is also part of the challenge, because as soon as he gets in trouble, you have to rush over there, heal him, run back. It's a pretty annoying thing to deal with. Again, the close quarters combat with Lu Bu on this battle is very, very hard to deal with. I think I died a handful of times, easily 5 times. Especially in the throne room. Fighting him in the throne room is tough because there's so little space. You have to pair, you have to get close to him. If he does the arrow thing, you have to pair. You're not going to dodge all 3. There's just no way. But like I said, similar to the one before it, only 25% health is needed to get him to flee, and you would have beaten him on this level. He was pretty tough. He was pretty tough on this one for me. Now, coming in with the bronze medal, this is top 3 hardest Lu Bus to fight. This is the battle of Puyang, the original Puyang. I don't know what it was. I think this was the battle that so in order to do this challenge, it was over the course of a few weeks because, I mean, there's only so many challenges I can do in a day for this guy. And I think this was the resumption of this challenge, and I got my ass beat. I think I died like 3 times. He was extremely tough to beat, and I was nervous. I was so nervous to go against him because, again, certain characters have that intimidating presence, and it's like, fuck, man, what are you gonna do? Stop! Again, the close quarters combat within the base was just so hard to read. His shoulder charge, some of his other movements in close quarters was there's so much chaos going on. I'm sure you guys are feeling that as well. But trying to pinpoint this monster among them and trying to make sure you don't get hit by his giant AoE swings, it's hard to deal with. If he used more of his red attacks, which I really didn't see much at all, again, I think they were limiting his abilities, it would have been much, much tougher to deal with. I think he only used one of them. I think he only used the counter one. He didn't use the straight line one. He didn't use the choke slam. But if he used those, my God, he would have ripped through. I don't even think he used the jump one, like the regular special art where he jumps up and slams. I don't even think he used that one because that one would have been tough too to deal with. But the close quarters, Puyang, I remember being kind of frustrated with this one. It was very tough to deal with, and he kept moving, man. He kept going. He wanted to go to South Side. I was trying to stop him. You'll see at the end here that I'm fighting him near like the shield people, which was annoying to deal with as well because I'm not doing damage to the shield people, but it's putting me in like awkward positions. I think I almost died from that. I was not having a good time. Anyway, Puyang coming in at number 3. I guess technically it could have been lower, but because you have to fully beat Lu Bu, it slightly ekes out the assassination attempt one because you have to completely defeat Lu Bu in order to win instead of getting the 25% health one. Next up, coming in at number 2. This can be tied with number 1. I mean, honestly, I gave this one and the number 1 both a 12 out of 10 rating. Because, my God, okay, this first one, and the only reason it's here is because you're allowed to heal, which I guess gives away the first one. It's fine. Number 2, we have the dream battle against all the forces. So for me, what I was trying to do in my footage was induce the duel for Lu Bu for another video that I was making, the duel hunt. If you guys have seen that, where I rank all the duels and all that, that's what I was trying to do. And because I was trying to do it, it took me 40 minutes to beat this guy in a duel because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to, beat him straight out. I could have, but I don't think it would have mattered in terms of difficulty. I think it would have been the same because in order to induce a duel with him, you have to get him down to close to 30 or 25% health. That's the only way you can do it. And I think if you kill Dong Zhuo first, because I tried a couple different ways, if you kill Dong Zhuo first, it doesn't get activated. If you leave Lu Bu to the last person, it doesn't get activated. I didn't want to lose and let me try a different way to induce the duel. No, I found a way to do it. I just had to grit my teeth and get it done. 40 minutes. I died probably close to or a little bit over 20 times. 20 times I died to this guy in this battle. The saving grace for the dream battle is obviously I could heal. Some of the moments with him was very frustrating because there was multiple people around him that were souped up, especially Dong Zhuo. Dong Zhuo was right next to him. Clipped me a couple times from behind. But again, he's not even using all of his abilities that he can use, but he is so tanky. This is one of the hardest, I think it's recommended to be like level 80, which is the highest level of recommendation, which means it is one of the hardest stages from the game, period. When I wanted to just give up so bad, but I couldn't. I needed to get this last duel. He was the last person I needed for the other video, so there was no other option for me. I had to sift through 40 minutes with this monster in order to achieve what I wanted. And then finally, coming at number 1, it is no surprise because I already hinted at it in the first. And you should know. You guys should know. If you're watching this video, you know. You've already done this. You've done the challenge or you have attempted it. It's one of the two. And that's fighting Lu Bu at Sha Pi, the boss fight, one-on-one. He gets all of his abilities. He gets his true ultimate moveset at the end. All that stuff you have to deal with. Yeah. And then on top of that, you have the challenge of no heals. Not even an attack boost. Nothing. You get nothing. If you have not seen my video on how I beat him, if you need help with that, go ahead and check it out. But there's no contest for this one. You can't heal? You can't heal. That's a crazy challenge. You have to literally almost be perfect, especially on your first run through. Unless you wait until you maxed out your character first and then go back to fight him, which doesn't really help that much. I mean, it helps in the fact of maybe resisting some attacks. You get to survive a little longer. You won't die as quickly, as in like you won't be one-shotted. But in terms of the attack, you could be 80, you could be 100. It doesn't matter. It doesn't feel different. It really doesn't. You can use rank 8 weapons. You can use rank 7. It honestly does not feel that different. So obviously, coming in at number 1, the hardest Lu Bu to defeat in Dynasty Warriors Origins is the Shopee boss level Lu Bu. I mean, what else do you want me to say? Absolute monstrous man. The challenge is the hardest challenge. Whoever decided that on the development side, you know, they must have had a laughing fit. A devious laugh, because I would have laughed too. I would have had a devious laugh about that, and that's something I would definitely put in the game. Anyway, that's all I have for the video here, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. These are my picks and rank. This was defeating Lu Bu on every stage in Dynasty Warriors Origins and then ranking them. What do you guys think about this list down below? Who was your guys' tough one to beat? Who did you really struggle with? Did you struggle with the demo as much as you did with some of the other ones? Did you fight Lu Bu, the boss version, first before you went back and maybe did any of this? Let me know down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely appreciate that like or a sub. If you guys have any concerns, questions, anything about the game, let me know. I know pretty much everything. And I'll see you all in the next video. See you guys.